This is a rolling train wreck. Another day, another Australian is put at risk again.
A fourth detainee has been charged, this time with theft, following his release from immigration detention in Victoria. Overnight, the government passed its new laws in Parliament, giving courts the power to put some of the most serious offenders back behind bars. But Attorney-General Mark Dreyfus facing calls to apologise.
I will not be apologising.
After lashing out at a female reporter that was asking
An absurd one.
about the saga.
Do not interrupt. I will not be apologising for acting. I will not be apologising for acting in accordance with a High Court decision. Your question is an absurd one.
For more, we're joined by Shadow Attorney-General Michaelia Cash. Good morning to you. What did you make of that behaviour?
A little bit wacko, Jacko.
Oh, completely, totally and utterly outrageous. But I'm also glad you asked, because I don't know if you saw Mr Dreyfus on the ABC last night.
ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3.
They conveniently didn't even go anywhere near this issue, Matt. It was an outrageous comment. He should apologise. And the only thing absurd was A, his response, but B...
He said I'm not feminine enough.
The government's handling of this train wreck issue. The federal government's responsibility to the Australian people is to keep them
distracted,
is to keep them safe. And the Anthony Albanese Labor government has fundamentally failed Australians in this regard. That's what's totally absurd about this situation.
So the question, I think most agree, wasn't absurd. I think the Australian public want an apology for the way it's been.
Yes.
Yeah, want to know that at least the government is apologetic for the way they've handled this. But should he apologise to the reporter?
I will not be apologising.
Well, I believe that he should, because reporters are entitled to ask questions. The question was a
absurd one.
A very, very fair one. Are you going to apologise to the Australian people for your completely botched response to this situation?
I will not be apologising.
4 Australians now.
The number of the day is 4.
So that's the number. Yes, that's the number. That's the number. The number of the day.
4 Australians now, Matt. We've had now 4 detainees who have been released have reoffended. This is a rolling train wreck. Another day, another Australian is put at risk. Again, responsibility of the federal government, Mr Albanese.
As Prime Minister, I will always accept responsibility.
The safety and security of Australians. It is a basic responsibility, but a fundamental one. The question I have is...
An absurd one.
Peter Dutton's asked this. Matt, how many more Australians are going to be put at risk because of the actions of this government? Another day, we wake up, another detainee that has been released by this government has offended. It is just not good enough.
That's my style. I hope you've noticed that.
Tony, Tony, you're our one and only. Come around to our place because we are feeling lonely.
This is standard procedures.
Of course they should apologise.
Well, they are trying to fix the problem with your support as well. This preventative detention laws that have been passed through Parliament with bipartisan support, is it enough? How far will it go?
Well, in the first instance, Matt, why wasn't it ready 4 weeks ago? The government have known since June of this year that they are on shaky ground. Governments prepare, responsible governments should I say, prepare for every single scenario. The best case scenario, the worst case scenario. They were not prepared. They have been dragged kicking and screaming to put in place a preventative detention regime. Remember, it was Peter Dutton, day one, who said to Mr Albanese,
I've got this awful itching. Scotch finger?
do this, you will have our support. And guess what we were told by Labor?
Nice girls can often give men the wrong signals.
You can't do it. Well, guess what? You could. They now have. The question now is, though, for Mr Albanese, he should stand up from the Australian people today and say,
I've decided that it's time to retire as Pixie.
how many of the 147 released detainees will be going back behind bars? Because at the moment, guess what? The government can't tell Australians. Again, you have one job. Keep Australians safe, and the Albanese Labor government are failing badly in this regard.